Welcome to In Case You Forget, a podcast for foster care caseworkers who carry more than anyone sees. If this work feels heavy and follows you home, this is a space to process, reflect, and remember why you said yes. I'm Jamie Cabe.
And I'm Jamie Finn. We're so glad you're here. Today, we are excited to introduce you to my friend, Kimberly Glaudy. Kimberly Glaudy is an author, therapist, and mentor with over 25 years of experience in youth and community development. She's based in Houston and leads a therapeutic group practice and is the co-founder of Revive Coaching and Consulting. Her work has included serving homeless families, refugees, youth in state custody, and survivors of trafficking. And she has trained providers around the world in trust-based relational intervention, or you might know it as TBRI. Kimberly brings both deep expertise and a genuine heart for people to everything she does.
Yeah, and in this episode, we're really excited to talk with Kimberly about the 4 major attachment styles and how they shape our lives and our work, especially for those in helping professions. Kimberly, welcome to the show. We are so very happy to have you.
I bet you're not more excited than I am. Yes, I'm very excited to be in this space with you ladies. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you. When we knew we wanted to talk about this topic, I was like, I have a friend. She's the one that I want to be able to bring in front of the people that we serve. And so we're just grateful for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Kimberly, you've spent much of your life serving youth and even the underserved populations. I'm just curious, what led you to this work? How did you get this heart for this kind of work?
Ooh, you're trying to jump into attachment already. Listen,
that's a good point.
I have a coffee cup that I'm drinking out of today that says, I get it from my mama. And that's exactly how I got into this work. I remember her saying, she had 3 girls, and she's like, I want y'all to go into engineering or banking. And we're all social workers of some sort of another, all in the helping field. And so I think this work shows me, it shows us, it is a part of the legacy of our family. So yeah, and I'm here and I'm sticking here.
So was your mama a social worker?
By heart. Yeah, by heart. She didn't have any college education, but loved people and served. It was in her blood. So whether that was in the church, in the community, yes, she was a social worker by heart. Most definitely.
I love to see how our parents' dreams for us are sometimes these what they think are big, beautiful dreams. And yet, your mom is so happy that her 3 girls are spending up their lives serving people. I love it. So we do want to talk about attachment today. And I think part of what you're going to help us see is that even the things that we don't call attachment are attachment. We're like, why did you want to do this? Well, it goes back to that. So I kind of am hoping that you can just create a baseline for us when we're talking about attachment. If someone's never considered it, haven't heard this defined, can you just give us that baseline so that then we can kind of springboard into the rest of the conversation?
Yeah, sure. I like to say it and describe it like this. As humans, we are social creatures. We are designed to connect. And if you don't believe me, wonder why in some penitentiaries, they consider a high form of punishment keeping people in isolation. Because at our core, we are designed to be with other people. The challenge is we don't really know how to connect unless someone models that for us. We only learn attachment and connection by being in connected relationships. And so that happens for all of us the first several years of life. We learn how to do relationships. And so that's what attachment, and that's what we're going to talk about today, is how did we learn, all of us, how to be in relationship? And what does that mean? what did it mean then? And then what does it mean now as an adult? And then even what does it mean by way of how we care for others as social workers or in the helping profession?
Yeah, I would love to like kind of set the stage of, I know there's like 4 major attachment styles. Am I right on that? Kind of walk us through what that even looks like when we're talking attachment. So we're all speaking kind of from the same perspective here.
Let me describe it this way. Attachment is really about how, again, the pattern for me learning how to do relationship. And that starts really, again, early on. So when a baby cries, because that's what's happening in the first couple years of life. I just had my grandbaby this weekend, and I'm like, oh, I'm glad she's gone because she did a lot of crying. She did a lot of crying, and I knew I had to respond.
That's right.
But in those first few years of life, babies are expressing themselves by way of crying. And when they cry and when they express themselves, they want to know that they matter and that someone's going to show up and pay attention to them and help them. And when a caregiver does that consistently over time in a loving and caring way, they learn, hey, what I say is really important. Like when I have a need, someone shows up to help me meet my need. And when they do that over time, hundreds and hundreds of times, they understand how much their voice matters and that they matter. And that's what we call secure attachment. It is the springboard for healthy self-esteem, self-efficacy. These are the people that can go out in the world and kind of do things, try new things, and aren't scared to fall or fail because they know if they get hurt or something hurts, that they can get back up or someone will help them. So they're kind of brave. They're showing up in the world big and exploring the world. Okay. That happens. I don't know. There's research that says about 60, 70% of adults are securely attached. Right. Because I'm in the helping profession, I don't see a lot of that.
Yeah. And I think, isn't there some nuance there of like securely attached? So like when I went through the adult attachment interview, it was secure dismissive.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, you have this secure attachment and you have some of this other stuff going on too. And so even there to be able to see like, yeah, even, I mean, we, all 3 of us grew up in loving, nurturing households where our needs were met and all of that. And there are these complications of like, when I skinned my knee, it was like, get up, don't cry, you're good, like that kind of thing. And oh, it's interesting, I do the same thing to my kids. And so even it's not as black and white as like neglect or secure attachment. There's also this nuance piece. And I need to say this real quick. Anything that I've learned about attachment, I learned from Kimberly and her. So when I'm like adding stuff
I love
in,
that.
she was a part of, I'm a TBRI practitioner. She was a part of my training. She's
so
come
cool.
to my conferences. So
I love
so
that.
I'm just like, remember this thing that you taught me.
Yes. And Jamie, you're right. It's just this, it's not buckets, right? You can't put it in these siloed buckets. It's this beautifully complicated and complex gradient range. Yeah.
I got to quick ask this too, Jamie. You said your attachment interview. Is that something with the TBRI?
Yeah, so they took us through that, but I think maybe it's more accessible than it used to be, but it's very limited in accessibility, right, Kimberly? Like there are very few practitioners. And I'll tell you how I started that. No joke. I started it saying, well, I have a secure attachment because I had a great childhood. And I literally would answer the questions and saying like, well, because I'm securely attached, it was, and then she's bringing up these things that I'm like, oh my goodness. And I'm having this moment, which is why I brought that up. Because I think I would listen to this podcast and go, oh, check mark, secure, I'm good. And kind of not see the nuance there. And it was pointed out to me. I didn't see it. And it was pointed out to me.
Yeah, probably 100% of the time, all dismissive people say, no, you're lying, I'm securely attached. Because we're dismissive.
That's right. My needs were met. What do you mean? I meet my kids' needs. Are you And it's just that black and white.
Yeah. I tell a funny story. The person who did my AAI, it's called Adult Attachment Interview, is Dr. Jami DeLuna, who came to be a good friend. And I told her after, like, once she told me I was not securely attached, I had some hints of secure attachment. I was like, I wanted to fight you.
Yeah. I was like,
So
you don't know
you're
my
lying.
parents.
You don't know what you're talking
That's
about.
right.
You don't know my mom. She's my best friend.
That's right.
Says all dismissive.
That's right. That's right. Which is, I think it's helpful to see that, like, oh, that's a little siren for me. If I'm like, I'm good, then maybe it's a question of, well, keep listening to the other the other style.
This is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about that since
Yeah.
you mentioned it. So there is secure attachment. Baby cries, caregiver consistently is coming, consistently, lovingly, and it's beautiful. And there's this product. Adult who goes out and explores the world. When that doesn't happen, not because it's bad, again, we're not inserting judgment here at all. It's just we're stating the facts, kind of what happened, and trying to understand it. Another scenario is baby cries and caregiver will come to meet their instrumental needs. They will come and make sure they're not cold, they don't have a fever, they're fed, they're changed, and then they're done, right? They don't necessarily bring that emotional care, right? The coming close to, and now we tend to do it, I think, a little more as babies, right,
Sure.
Jamie? But when they get a little older and on the playground, it's, oh, you're hurting? I don't see any blood. You're okay. Go back and play. Let me see. You're good. Go back and play. Why? Typically, it is a sign that that caregiver did not receive emotional care when they were growing up. So the idea is we parent according to whatever happened to us. Remember, I said it is a pattern for how we do relationships. And that is why it is so important for caseworkers, caregivers, anybody into the helping profession to understand what lens are you coming into care for this kid, this client, this whomever, because you're coming with your pattern of entering into relationship with them. For that kiddo who grows up in those circumstances, they learn, my caregiver doesn't do emotions too well. So maybe I'll just go ahead and take care of them myself and let them do the part that they do well, which is meet my instrumental needs. I'll take care of my emotions. They'll do that. So this particular person as an adult, insert me, becomes like hyper independent. I'll do it myself. You ask me how I'm feeling? I'm fine. Because I have learned my pattern is I will take care of my emotions myself. I've got it. My poor husband had to help me unlearn this in a real way, right? I've got it. I'm fine. These are the kids who are going to act like they can do it. You give them an assignment. They have no idea what they're doing, but they're going to go in their room, in their closet, figure it out all by themselves because that is the pattern.
Right.
I deal with hard things by myself.
Yeah, I appreciate that you said insert me because it's not just like either you're whole or you're broken. Like there is this, here you are, you're in this loving marriage and you have beautiful children and relationship with your parents and all of that. And just to kind of, let's create a level playing field here where we're not bringing judgment to our parents who are doing their best. And we're not saying you're broken. We're saying be aware of the pattern that you bring into relationship. I think that's really helpful.
I really want to stress that because a lot of people will shy away because who wants to admit that they're broken and all jacked up? I mean, that's hard. And then I'm going to blame my parents? No, okay.
Right.
So it's a pattern. I almost want to think of it, it's a recipe. It's just a recipe. It's the way your folks made chocolate cake. It was a
Right,
little
sure.
different than
That's
someone
good.
else's.
Yeah.
It's a recipe, and we typically follow the recipe. Like, this is the way my mom always made her meatloaf, and this, I don't know any other way. I just make it that way. It's not bad, it just is. All right, for these first couple of them. So then that young person will grow up, oftentimes not asking for help because they will figure it out themselves. That's that hyper independence.
So that, because I know it can feel confusing to kind of create definitions for each one. What if we jump into this a little bit with the kids, families, coworkers that people might be serving? Like, what if we put some meat on this and say, here's how you might see this show up in kids? Like, I love that you said it's the kid who goes to their bedroom, gets it done. It's the kid who cries silent tears. It's like, can you tell us how this plays out with the kids and families that caseworkers might be serving who are approaching with this sort of attachment style? We're not even talking about the caseworker themselves yet and their attachment style, but the clients and people that they're serving with this attachment style, how that can look, and sort of best practice ideas, all of that for serving.
Yeah, so maybe adults or kids, they might be given assignment tasks, and you ask them, do they understand? They say yes. Do you need? No, I got it. They were the ones who may not turn it in, may then stop answering calls, because again, it's hard to ask for help. I don't want to show that I am having a hard time. So I might show other things. I might even just disappear. It's easier for me to disappear than to show I am having a hard time and I need help. Those words almost feel so painful if for 40, 50 years you've never used them. Here's the real challenge. I think for people who've had these patterns and have hidden their emotions for so long, they've also hidden their emotions or dismissed their emotions to themselves.
Yeah, I was wondering. Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm not even realizing that I'm having a hard time to tell you that I'm having a hard
Yes,
time
right.
because I don't touch that feeling at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I say that because on the other side of that is caseworkers, right? We might see this person disappearing. We might see this person not completing assignments.
Yeah.
And we will assign a motive to that.
Yeah, that's good.
They're lazy. They really don't want their kids
don't care.
back. They're doing, they don't care. When it really is, I've never learned how to ask for help. And I don't even know how to ask for help. Right? So that's something that it might look like that. Mm-hmm.
And here you are in a helping profession with people who need help. And so that, I think, is so helpful to hear. Like, the people who need help the most might not know they need help, feel their need for help, and certainly might not know how to communicate that they need that help.
And can I quickly go back to the kids? Because I think sometimes we have more grace for littles and babies, maybe it's just me, than adults. But it's the same thing, right? We will see our child and know that they are sleepy.
Yeah.
And they are having a whole hissy fit because they dropped their cookie. But we know it's not about the cookie. They are sleepy. And so we will say, are you sleepy? Is it time to go night? Right? We will give them words. Now, they haven't told us, but we know. We know according to how they're acting and their behavior. We're investigative and we give them language for that. In time, they'll say, yes, I'm sleepy, or they won't. They'll come and just lay their head down and go to sleep. It is the same thing as adults. We're like, man, when I talk to them, it seems like they really love their kid and they want to, but what? Oh, maybe. Do you need help? Can you read? I mean, is it a language? It could be a language thing.
Yeah.
It could be a literacy thing. It could be a number of things. Can I help you with that? Right? You offer that to them. to make it easier to take hold of.
That's so
Yeah.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. So
And what's that? What was that one called?
That is as a dismissive. We're
this
going
is
to
where
go
it's
with the adult.
complicated.
Yeah,
Yeah, when you're
right,
like,
yeah.
what's
dismissive.
avoidant? And yeah,
Yeah,
I
right.
just call it dismissive.
We're going to call it dismissive. If you
Okay,
heard of
yeah.
it in a different language, a different terminology, it's typed as something else as an infant and an adult attachment. So we're just going to go with adult because these are the ones that you might hear more frequently. So this is what we call dismissive, right? I'm fine. I have secure attachment. I'm good. Nothing's wrong. All the while I'm dying on the inside, right? I have my public face. Let's just talk about church folks for a little bit because this is, you already know.
Yep, sure. We have to have our act together. Yeah.
Yeah, and so when you combine these, right, I can't be in leadership. I can't be head of a small group and falling apart. I'm fine. Jesus is, just I pray, all the things.
Mm-hmm.
And he is, and it is, but it's okay.
Right.
To ask for help.
Yes.
It's we're social creatures, right?
Yes.
My mom would say no man is an island.
Yep.
Right? We need each other. So, and then I think the other one is what we would call preoccupied. The other style is called preoccupied. So we've got secure, where the caregiver comes consistently, lovingly to meet emotional and instrumental needs. Then we have dismissive attachment styles. When the caregiver comes, it really is just meeting those physical needs, those instrumental needs. Here's the blanket, here's the assignment, here's this, here's that. The other stuff, too much. Okay, they kind of back up from it. And then there's what we call preoccupied. And this happens early on when the caregiver comes, but is not consistent. So sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're really attentive, and sometimes they're not. So the child learns, instead of like hiding my emotions, the child learns to kind of just keep up a fuss. If I keep up a fuss, it increases the chance of my caregiver coming, and this might be the time that they stay. This might be the time where I get attention. So I just kind of keep a fuss going all the time. Whereas the secure child, the secure baby, they would cry, their caregiver comes and they stop crying. Their needs are met. Because they know once they stop crying and cry again, they already know what's going to happen. It's predictable. Where the preoccupied baby, they just are not sure. They're not sure. So they kind of just are hard to soothe. They always just not quite settled. They keep a fuss. What this looks like as an adult, why do we call it preoccupied? In other terms, we call it enmeshed. The adult is very involved. These are your needy, what we would call, you might have heard this term, needy clients. They're calling you all the time for what you might think of as like, why are you calling me about that? What? We already talked about that? Or I'm coming to your house on Tuesday. Why are you calling my phone on Friday night when you know I'm coming on Tuesday? You could just wait and ask me then, right? Because they're just not sure. Will you really show up on Tuesday? You might not show up. So while I have you, let me get in there now. I can get some attention now just in case you don't show up on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's good. Words that I kind of throw around for is drama. Manipulative. We have like a phrase in our house, like all publicity is good publicity. Like our preoccupied kiddo, like that's it. It's any attention is good attention. All publicity is good publicity. And it's just this like, I got to keep going because this is the only way to get the attention that I need. This is the only way to get my needs met is to just kind of keep this drama cycle going. And so, in a baby, it's fuss. In a kid, it's drama, and then you can see it play out the same way in
Yeah,
the adult who you would call manipulative, who you would call
absolutely.
needy. Um, that's really good.
Yeah, yeah. And so that's what that kind of looks like. And so I know typically people are like, where do I fit?
Mhm.
Again, it's not always that easy. We kind of will typically strongly lean in one of them, but you could have some
Mhm.
elements of all of them. And again, I'm going to go back and say, it's not because the caregiver was mistreating or
Yeah.
bad. It just
Mhm.
was. In full transparency, I lean dismissive. You want to know why? For real?
Mhm.
Because my dad and mother were involved in ministry.
Mm.
Mm.
Let's talk about
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're always
Hmm.
outward facing. Not
Yeah.
always, but as a kid, it sure felt like
Yeah, yeah.
always.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Always outward
Hmm.
facing. All of my needs were private school, never worried about meal, beautiful clothes, beautiful home. I had stuff. I had the instrumental care, never worried about that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But were they close enough? Did they look in my eyes to see, huh, are you okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I didn't know how to say it, and
Hmm.
they weren't attentive enough
Mm.
to call it, are you sleepy? Are you sad?
Right.
Are you scared?
Hmm.
Yeah. And so, again, I don't want to charge caregivers. It's a pattern.
Yeah, sure.
Mm.
And their caregivers got it from somewhere else. It's a
Yes.
pattern.
Yeah.
So I think very few of the people listening probably have a disorganized style, but I think some of the people that are serving do. So can you hit that as well? Because we know we're seeing kids and parents who have this, doesn't fit in those buckets, this disorganized style.
And Jamie, you know what? Some of that is true, but I think, remember how I said we're not in buckets? I
Yeah.
think a lot of people in the helping profession might have elements,
Yep. Yep.
whiffs of the disorganized, because that's
Sure. Sure.
sometimes which drives us into the helping profession. I don't want kids to experience what I
Mm.
experienced. What does disorganized look like? It is just that the kid has no pattern.
Mm-hmm.
The other three, there's a pattern. I know what to do. I keep up a fuss. I know what to do. I keep my feelings to myself. I know
Right.
what to do. I cry and someone comes. This
Hmm.
other is like, there is no pattern.
Hmm.
And that's because it's just life is terribly unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
And often has to do with as a kid, as an infant, the person that is supposed to keep them safe, be there to meet their needs, can at times be the one that also cause them harm. And so they
Hmm.
become fearful
Mm-hmm.
of their safe person.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So they just, do I cry? Do I not?
Hmm.
Do I don't know what to do. It's either that or the person that is supposed to keep them safe is fearful themselves. So you might see this if a kid is being raised by, let's say, a mom who's in a domestic violence situation, or interpersonal violence is what we call it now. So if that mom is scared, for instance, baby cries, it's at the same time mom was just assaulted, but that mom is coming to meet that baby's need. Mom is all frantic. Mom is not in a regulated state, so she's all over the place. Baby, then what do you think is picking up on? And surely you didn't meet the need that I just cried about,
Right.
right?
Right.
That may
Hmm.
never get addressed. Or you're now yelling at me because
Yeah.
you're dysregulated
Yeah.
and I have a need.
But
Hmm.
last time you were nurturing and
But
you were,
last
and
time,
so the pattern
yeah,
here is, what is
Sure.
the pattern?
There is no pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah.
appreciate the critique there, because I think in my mind I have like three buckets, and then I have the like, oh, these are the ones who yeah, they're broken. Like, yep, there's rad there, or that's where we see severe mental illness, and so I appreciate you pointing that out, especially with the people who are listening. So many of them were compelled by their challenging situations, and so I definitely should not paint this brush of like, well, and you're all healed, and you're just trying to heal others. Like, no, we're all bringing our stories and our patterns, and so thanks for that sort of gentle correction there, because you're
We're
absolutely
learning.
right.
We're all
Yeah.
learning, right? I sit at the feet of attachment people all the time because we're all like trying to just get it and understand it. Again, it's beautiful and complex and all of the things. So
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about a caseworker listening right now and going, okay, I recognize this in my clients. I see some of this in me. I don't know what to do with any of it. Like, what do I do now that I may be a little more aware? And maybe they've already been. I mean, I know many caseworkers have gone through TBRI training, and but let's just say if you haven't done a lot of attachment work, what do I do with this now?
listen, I was training for the institute and still working on my stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I'm still working on my stuff right now. Let's,
Yeah.
yeah.
let's be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's a continual journey, like salvation and right and holy, right? We're continuing to be fully as Christ requires us to be. So we'll never be done, I don't think, fully. Um, I think it's about being aware
Hmm.
and first like, okay, it's aware not of the parent or client, of self.
That's right. Yep.
It is
Yeah.
self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Because the attachment is sometimes I'll train it as a dance, right? Between two people. Because it's their attachment style and my attachment style in this beautiful dance. That's a moment or while they're on your caseload. It doesn't matter. Something's going to happen. The music is playing. How are you dancing together? First, before you can understand what the other person is going through, you must understand that your own music, right? Is it high tempo and needy and anxious and you're, dancing with lots of energy, trying to keep the person close, stepping on their toes, doing a lot of things, right? Is it more dismissive and it's a slower pace and it's like, I don't even know if I want to dance. You might be pulling away or you stepped on my toe once and I'm done, right? And so it's just this beautiful didactic experience. So first you must understand you. And you can't do any work until you fully understand and kind of accept what it is. It took me a while, like maybe it's because I'm dismissive.
Yeah.
but-
Now, Kimberly, do you know the stat that I've heard before, that it's as high as like 80% of people in helping professions are dismissive? And so you almost, and I share that with foster parents. I'm like, you're not in a helping profession, but you're the kind of person who's taking on like you're helping. And so you can almost come with that, not assumption, but like, all right, I'm going to listen to that number there and let it speak to me about myself.
And let me tell you why that is. It's
Yeah.
not by happenstance, okay? So as a kid, you learn, again, negative emotions particularly, are not good.
Yeah.
And so you learn to solve problems to keep the emotions at bay.
That's right.
We are wonderful problem solvers. We get it done. We're executing. What's the need? Okay, fix the need, make it go away so we don't have to deal and sit in the emotions.
Yeah.
What do you need? A Band-Aid? Get the Band-Aid. What do you need? Ice cream? I'll take you to ice cream. What do you need to make this feel better? Because these emotions are too much. That's why we end up in the helping professions, because we are good problem solvers. That makes sense, right?
It
sure does.
totally makes sense.
Yeah.
And I see that in myself. I see it in my people who are dismissive or preoccupied. I'm like, oh, that's why we approach these things differently. That's why my best friend, who is a different attachment style, is like, talk to me and let me. And I'm like, I've got my stuff. Can you pick up my kids? Like, I will handle me. And,
Yeah.
So I feel like you're doing so much in in helping us understand this. And you just shared like, all right, the first thing is acknowledge it. Can we spend a little bit more time for kind of following that stat? Okay, if 80% of the people who are listening have a dismissive attachment style, how you just shared the beauty of how they bring that into their work. They're going to be expert problem solvers. How can they lean sort of away from what might be their normal pattern here to make sure that they're showing up for people in a holistic way that isn't just, I'm going to meet your needs and fix your problems? Like, how can someone with a dismissive attachment style in this foster care caseworker space show up better for the people they're serving?
Yeah, good. I, just as a therapist, I always am like, start small. If you want to make
Good.
some changes, right, it's the small steps.
Mm.
Do you know where I started? Allowing my husband to help me bring the groceries in.
Literally just accepting the help.
Wow.
I mean, some people are like, what?
Yeah.
Literally, because I would have 17 bags making 3 trips. It's like,
Oh, we've all seen those pictures of the fingers about to
yeah,
break
don't
off.
touch it,
Yeah.
it's gonna fall. Why didn't you just ask? Because I got it.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just ask me? Because I got it. And he literally was like, do not come home with groceries.
Hmm.
I'm lying. He really just told me, he's like, don't do that again.
Yeah.
But it is really about being in relationships, finding those opportunities with people where you can practice. Don't come to the house again and have groceries and not allow me to help you. You see that? Allow me to help you. And because I've done that over time and realized when I needed help, then I can learn to see it in other people. Oh, they're holding a lot, but maybe they need help. And I'm not talking about groceries, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got I bet
Yeah.
they got a lot of stuff on their plate. I see it in the paperwork and I'm reading through it. But did I, whoa, what does that mean? What might this mean to this mom? What might this mean to this dad? I wonder if he needs help. Let me ask him. Right? Because I start with myself, then I can realize it in other people. So start small.
That's good.
In all ways, even if it's not at the office, start in your personal life. Again, this pattern is your pattern for all
Yeah, sure.
relationships,
Yeah, sure.
all of them. Professional, work, spouse, children. We talked about children. Yeah, start small.
So someone asks you for help. No, if someone asks to help you and it's very hard for you to receive that, is that a sign that you're dismissive?
Yes, because why? You'll figure it out.
You'll figure it
You're
out.
sure not going to tell people you need help.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to keep it together. It's the way for us to be in relationship and to be okay. I handle the
Right.
hard stuff. You can come and be around me for the easier stuff.
Yeah. So the other thing someone could do is, if it might even feel too hard to say, will you help me? Maybe they can say yes when someone says, can I help you? Which is another also hard, because then you have to know, like, but if someone, maybe that's a way you can start to, is just by accepting
Yeah.
someone's offer.
Yeah.
And practice saying,
Practicing.
like literally.
Yeah.
I had to, and I'll do this sometimes with other people and I'm helping them out. Like, for real, right now, say yes and thank you. Say it again, yes and thank you.
Yeah.
Right now, say everybody listening who's dismissive, say it with me. Yes and thank you, right? Just start getting that as a pattern so that when it comes, your automatic response is yes and thank you. You don't think about it. You don't wrestle. Yes and thank you.
Yeah.
That's good. Can you do the same thing for those who are coming with a preoccupied style? Like, okay, this is how I'm wired. How can I show up at work in a more mindful way?
So our preoccupied people are our people who we would call dramatic or needy, or sometimes it's not even externalized. It's the overthinking.
Yeah.
It's the overthinking. Did I do something to offend them? Is that why they're not returning my call? Da, 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 da. And they just can go on this rabbit hole, right? And so the way to do that is called, I tell people to just do pauses. This is not about me. Right? Awareness of then the other person. Because typically preoccupied people are, again, that baby is keeping the parent close. So it's really all about me, 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 me. And so the preoccupied person, to kind of help in that, is to begin to pause, right? Realize this is not about me, and shift their perspective to the needs of the other
That's
person.
so good. Yeah. And that's very
Yeah.
practical for showing up in work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You're going to be serving people who are going through some stuff and who are needy, and they're going to show up at you in ways that might feel like it's at you, and it's not. Someone who's in deep stress and conflict and instability is probably not showing up happily asking for things and saying please and thank you, and being able to separate yourself from that.
Yeah. We would see this sometimes when I worked residential for girls who had been trafficked. And let's say the girls would abscond or elope. Like the staff, the caseworkers would take it personally.
Right.
It's something they didn't do. They didn't answer the call. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. And literally take a personal hit. When we know about trauma, sometimes things get overwhelming and running is a fear response, right? But they can't see that because it's about them. So it's like learning to pause, learning to pause. And then we would call regulate is a word that we use often, regulate, kind of get back to center and then take a clear perspective. What's really going on if I look at the whole picture?
Yeah. It's that saying, I am responsible to you, but not for you. Not for you have the autonomy to make the choices you make. And
That's not preoccupied, right? I'm only happy if you're happy. If you're not happy, I'm not happy. What do I need to do to make it happy? La 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 la. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Interesting. So when we're thinking of these workers and they're going, okay, sometimes there are certain clients who, when I'm with them, I feel more triggered. I feel more, whatever way. I either want to run and hide, or I want to just jump in and solve all their problems. Or even there's certain coworkers that just those dynamics feel especially overwhelming or draining. Like, how can this attachment learning help me understand maybe some of those situations?
I'm going to go back to first aware. That's why we talk about it so much, right? Let's go back to baby. We know, we don't know if a baby, let's say, is sick. We know to look for the warning signs. Stop eating, stop drinking, a fever, we might have an infection. So we're looking for, it's the awareness that then makes us curious. Something maybe, this baby may need me in another way. And so I think, again, like if we move that to an adulthood, it's our ability to be aware of what's going on.
Yes.
This person, this family, let's say is, why is this family keep emailing my supervisor? Why are they CCing my supervisor? Or I don't call them back within the hour and they're like blowing up my phone. Right? And now that's what's happening. Now, depending on my attachment style, I'm going to respond in a particular way.
Okay.
That's the dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That-
why did they do that? And why
Yes.
am I tempted to react this way? And there's,
Absolutely.
the dance is the two people and the two
Yes.
patterns.
Yes.
And that's good.
Yes, in that moment. And so here is the beauty of it. So we did not talk about this other phenomena called earn secure.
Mm.
The truth of the matter is you can do enough work so that if you did not grow up with a primarily secure attachment style, you can kind of move that direction over time. When you learn, let's say for me, I grew up dismissive, I've learned now how to give and receive care. I can receive care. I remember I was so proud of myself one day when I was in my feelings. My husband was stirring around, and I said, "Can I have a hug?" Which I felt like, I don't know what I felt like. I think I almost felt little girlish if I'm honest. Like, and I literally was probably like that. Can I have a hug?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, sure. And he just gave me the best hug, and it felt so good. I knew, like, okay, I'm learning how to ask for what I need. And he gave it to me, and he's fine, and I'm fine after, right? It goes back to that. I ask for what I need. My need is met. Everybody's fine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so when we just, again, over time, we're doing our work and we're learning how to move more towards that more secure attachment style. When we as caregivers or caseworkers do that, then and only then can we really help our clients. That's why it's so important. And like TBRI, we people come in talking about kids and fix my kids. And the first step is never, ever, 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 ever about kids. It's about us first. Yeah. Because then we can set the pace. Right. And the truth of the matter is, when I learned how to give and receive care, now I'm teaching my daughter much earlier, right? So now she's 26 and not, 40 something. She doesn't have to learn at 40, right? Now she has a baby. Now her baby can learn it too. And so now we have a new pattern that's in the line.
Yeah.
That's how we go and do that.
Yeah, I love sort of wrapping there, because we're talking about these different patterns, and it can feel like, okay, so this is who I am and this is how I show up, and I'm stuck. And so I love just sort of ending our time with that like bubble of hope of, it's like, yeah, there's not judgment to your pattern, and we can show up differently. We can do the work in relationship and learn and grow. And so I just really appreciate you sort of wrapping this whole discussion of like, hey, and here's the hope. Here's the final, like, we all can do this work.
Yeah, yeah. And I would just say, Jamie, too, as we're all in the helping professions, right? We can look at a case wrapping up or being positive they met all the goals. Sometimes people can meet goals and still not know love and healthy attachment and healthy relationship. And for me, there's a greater goal besides what's on a treatment plan. It's when the kid is out of my care, off my caseload, I want them, if it's the first or last time, I don't know, I want them to experience, I care for you.
Yeah.
You can ask me for anything. I'm going to correct you.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you that structure because it's safety there, and my job is to keep you safe because I care for you.
That's
And
good.
they're going to experience that from me because I've learned how to do it.
Yeah. That's awesome. And Kimberly, that's actually why TFI exists, because we really care about the caseworker, and we know the caseworker, you, our listener, you're holding a lot. And we want you to have people in your corner who are caring for you so that you have what you need to care for the kids and the families on your caseload. And I think, Kimberly, you stated that so perfectly. And I just really appreciate you, all the work that you've done and the perspective you've shared with us. today. So thank you very much for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It was so great to hear from you and learn from you. Thank you,
Yes.
Kimberly.
Thanks, friends.
If this episode reminded you that you are not alone in this work, share it with another foster care caseworker who may need to hear it. And remember, your work matters, and so do you.
Resonate.